Hey traders, if you're losing money in the market, it's probably because you have losing trading habits. This video starts a three-part series on how to build winning habits so you can be a consistently profitable swing trader. Watch this video all the way to the end. You'll have a blueprint for building solid winning trading habits. One, the routines and habits, how to start profitable ones and stop the losing ones. That's the essence of today's session. Put that up there. Put that up there. And I've modified my opening statement to be kind of a value proposition where I will provide a clear and simple approach to swing trading success. I want to equip traders to build wealth and achieve financial freedom. That's what I want to be about and will continue to be about going forward. It's always been there, but I just want to make sure that I'm echoing that. So, habits to eliminate now. I heard a statement the other day that, which is kind of an interesting statement. It says that whatever we look like at birth, we basically can, it is because of our mother and our father that they determine how we look at. However, what we look at as we get closer to the end of life is the result of, one, our decisions and our habits. And I know that that is so true. Oftentimes we traders, we think we're thinking reality, but in reality, we're not thinking reality. We're thinking something that is I won't say made up, but it's not necessarily a true belief. Here's how most traders think. They with regarding trading, and as you can see, the proportions there. While in reality, traders. I think I just kicked. No, I didn't. Okay, there's Mark. Mark, I just had to make sure I didn't push the wrong button. So, hey, Mike. So, in reality, what we traders actually do is we think this is how trading really works. Our objective as traders is to challenge what we have over here to make it look more like this over here, where we're aware of what transpires with the actual trading. So what is impulsive and compulsive trade? What does an impulsive and compulsive trader look like? Because clearly impulsiveness and compulsiveness is not a healthy habit to have. I know I was guilty of that. And I think it's partly because of the way I learned how to trade. Was primarily self-taught, and it wasn't until I got some mentors in my life as a trader and also started better understanding and training myself in technical analysis that I was able to make progress in removing these from my trading. But the impulsive and compulsive trader, what did it look like? They're driven by emotions. It's one of those situations where you may have a winning system, which I had a winning system for a long time. However, my winning system didn't work because of fear, ego, greed, lust, etc., etc. A lot of different reasons why my trading didn't work, even though I was trading a winning system. Or I hold on to false beliefs like I don't deserve to win. Oftentimes, I think trading is, I used to fly Navy jets in the Navy, right? Land on aircraft carriers at night and drop bombs and, get refuel off of aircraft at night. And one of the most frightening, scary things that I'd ever done in my life. However, trading is oftentimes just as hard, and the fear issues and the false belief issues are almost harder to get over. And so, and oftentimes where a lot of our false beliefs come from, they come, I hate to say it, but they come from influences from our youth, from our childhood, be it mom, dad, a relative who we had a lot of respect for. Then self-sabotaging subconscious which is self-conscious which is subconscious conditioning. Now, we have success and then we self-destruct. Anybody ever have that situation where you get your account built up to a certain point and all of a sudden it's like you hit this button that's called the self-destruct button, and pow, you lose back to where you started, or sometimes worse. John Carter tells a really great story about how he had raised like 50,000, traded options 3 different times and built it up to $50,000 every time, and then did something stupid and not stupid, but self-destructed, and came back to almost zero. When the last time it happened, he was just about ready to get married. The money he had saved, $50,000 in trading, was going to go towards a down payment of his house, and then he would continue to raise capital. After that, he bought the house with his new bride. Well, what happened was he said to himself, he says, if I just get, if I get really lucky and get some additional winning trades, I can take that 50,000 and turn it into 150,000 and pay for this house. Well, guess what happened? Didn't happen. Self-destructed. He hit that self-destruct button. So to avoid becoming a mechanical trader with profitable habits and routines, switch from a trader to a wealth builder, and admit that there may be issues that you need to address. So how we think determines how we trade. It's our mindset. What we think about ourselves affects the way we trade. Oftentimes, if you trade on a daily basis, you get up and you check the market, and maybe you're trying to put positions on and trades on every day. Well, one of the suggestions that Mark Douglas and other psychologists, trading psychologists make, is check in with yourself to make sure that you are in the right mood, the right mindset, and that you've already made an agreement that you're ready to pay yourself that day. As George Carlin used to say, and I think the majority of us here can remember George Carlin. If not, you can look him up on YouTube. Got some really funny stuff out there. But he used to say, no matter where I go, there I am, which is absolutely true. And we oftentimes can become our own worst enemy. Learning to become a master trader means learning about and how to master ourselves. Knowing ourselves is critical to successful trading. Knowing ourselves helps us to recognize our biases and make critical adjustments to how we trade. This is one of the reasons why with the autopilot trading system, you know that we put in the conditional orders based on technical analysis that attempts to remove the emotions, because we do it after hours. We don't try to jump on the market when it is actually ongoing, because that's where you can have sometimes emotions running that you're not even aware of. There's a saying, if you know the market and know yourself, you will consistently be profitable. If you know the market and not yourself, your success will be random. And if you do not know the market or yourself, you will consistently lose money. So success in the market has little to do with the market. It's mostly about knowing yourself and how you react to both fear and greed. A trader will continue to struggle if they are unwilling to identify true characteristics about themselves, regardless of how undesirable those characteristics may be. Further, the process of knowing yourself as a trader and a person will never end. So start now. The sooner you start, the sooner, it's one of those things where you make an agreement, you admit that, hey, there's things about myself I don't know, but there's things about myself that I know are probably impacting my trading. And I'm going to be on basically a journey of discovery to find out what they are, because it will help me become a better trader. And this is especially true if one is attempting to move to a place where they become a trader. I won't say a full-time trader, but trading is what their occupation is. Recognize that becoming a master trader is a never-ending journey. So the question you have to ask yourself, am I up for the challenge and the opportunity of me? And sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror every morning and kind of ask that question. Setting a new course is about taking inventory of yourself and taking a fresh view of what needs to be done. And here are some of the questions you need to be asking yourself. And you get these slides, guys. I will post the slides up with the video, and so you can print these out. And but you must know, what's my current skill level? My friend Michael Moth talks specifically. Do I have the kind of the bandwidth to be able to trade the way I want to be trading? And how I handle discipline. Need to know that. What role does denial play in my trading? Who am I? Patience pays, and over trading underpays. And, you've probably seen this before, but it just basically is talking about habits and how they are a constant companion, and they will drive us either to excel, or they will propel us towards our goals, or they'll repel us from our goals. So a review of questions, what are my habits? And there's a good place to start. Am I disciplined? And what I find is that's a very interesting question to ask myself, because in certain areas of my life, I am very disciplined. And in other areas of my life, I am not disciplined whatsoever. And if you want to know what those undisciplined areas, just ask my wife. I check in with her occasionally, say, hey, honey, where am I needing to, beef up or level up my areas of discipline in my life, and she is very sweet. She tells me what they are without, hit me upside the head with a sledgehammer. How do my habits contribute to being a profitable swing trader? How do my habits stop me from being a profitable swing trader? Do I deny truth about myself? Can I follow the rules? How well do I follow the rules? Am I submissive and admissive when I should be? Do I easily become emotionally charged and irrational? How do I react when I am emotionally charged? Do I react without thinking? Do I listen without hearing? And finally, do I learn without becoming wiser? These are really pretty good. I wonder who wrote those. No. Anyway, a lot of this stuff it comes from both my own experiences and also some of the stuff from Mark Douglas and his wife. So ask yourself a year in review are questions you can ask yourself. Am I a planner? Am I flexible? Am I prideful or humble, objective or opinionated? Do I hold a bias? And ask yourself these questions. And this is great things to ask yourself the question. If you've never done it, write them down in a notebook and then go back and check your answers 6 months to a year later to see if you have if your trading has changed, your mindset has changed, to see if it's changed. And what you will find out is that, as long as you have it in focus and are working towards improvement, they will change. Pick one. Let's say there's one that you think that, okay, I should do better with my trade plan. Well, focus specifically on that for a 30 to 90 day period to improve in that area, and accept 1 to 2% improvement. And James Clear, the guy who wrote Atomic Habits, talks about that. If I can just get a 1% improvement on my habits to make them better habits, think out and make that on a daily or a monthly. No, he said a monthly basis. Do it on a monthly basis, and by the end of the year, I'm 12% better than I was before. If I do it on a weekly, I'm I'm a bunch even more better. Or so, and then the last question is, am I willing to change? A wise, disciplined, consistently successful trader has discovered that the holy grail of trading is actually within themselves and has been there all along. So learning the system is critical. If a trader does not take the necessary action here, the journey is doomed. You've got to learn the system. Learn about yourself is perhaps even more crucial. A trader who is unwilling to discover who they truly are not just doomed, but will never untie from the dock. Apply what we've learned is where we start becoming a wise, disciplined, and consistently profitable trader. So grade yourself 1 to 10, with 10 being the strongest on these things. 1, am I persistent with my goals? How patient am I? My determination to do what it takes to achieve my goals, my resilience, my on purpose, in other words, my ability to stay the course, accountability to myself, and also my accountability to my family, to the people that I'm trying to leave a legacy to, which may be a charity or your, direct family. Modern life seems to be haphazard, so, which affects our ability to master the characteristics that I indicate above, because we are so currently programmed to be chaotic. And chaos in your trading can lead you, and your mindset can lead to trading failures. Then you have to ask a question, is it me or is it my system? Or is it both? Most often the answer to that is yes. It's both me, but it also can be my lack of understanding of my system and the noise and distraction of the things around me. I heard a really awesome trader, and I just can't remember his name right now. No, his last name is Chow. And he made a statement the other day. He goes, we are programmed to want to know the reason why. Why did the market fall X amount today? Why did NVIDIA fall out of bed after earnings tomorrow and crash? Why did it go up, and explode out of there and break out? We tend to want to know why, rather than just accepting that something good happened. The chart told us that something good's happened, and I was able to position myself to take advantage of it. And so he said that most of the time, what we see in the market, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, what we're seeing is the ebbs and flows are the waves of the tide going in and out, that drives the market up and drives the market down. And if we will get in tune with the flow or the ebbs and flow of the market and plan what we're going to be doing, plan our actions around those ebbs and flows, the probabilities will, be in our favor, and we'll do quite well. So improving our trading personality may require a multiple prong approach, which starts with new habits and routines. Habits and routines should be planned and are rehearsed and executed in the following areas. 1, physical, mental, psychological, and I'll even throw in there spiritual. I mean, if you are a spiritual person, you need to include that in there also, as a part of the areas where you need to have specific life habits, and you can define and identify those as what is a winning habit, what is a non-winning habit. So what am I doing consistently to stay healthy? I have to ask myself, what am I doing fitness-wise? What am I doing diet? What am I doing sleep? One of the things when I was flying, they used to always say, you can't hoot with the owls and soar with the eagles, even though oftentimes a lot of us naval aviators tried to do that. What am I doing to keep my mental edge? Listen to your self-talk. Do you ever catch yourself calling yourself stupid or you can't do anything right? Bad talking to yourself, which needs to stop. And if you catch yourself doing that, journal it and go back to why am I talking to myself like that? When, what is going on with my trading that's causing a reaction? Or if that's a habit across other areas of your life, you can ask yourself, what causes or triggers that in what I do? If I find that I demean myself when I talk to myself, I might be getting in the way of success. So learn to speak out in affirmations to yourself of who you really are. And it's your choice. Out of the mouth come either words that either curse you or bless you. Change the way you see yourself. So one of the things that my old mentor used to say, he'd say, you should say, get up every morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am a wise, disciplined, consistently successful trader. Say this out loud 3 times in front of the mirror. And after the 3rd time, say, and I'm a darn good looking one too. So if that doesn't bring a smile to your face, which puts you in a place where you'll be more adaptive to better habits, I don't know what is. This is guaranteed to make you smile. So you can also do a little bit of journaling saying, I am a wise, disciplined, consistent, profitable trader because, and identify because of what? What actions can you identify that would basically give you the identity of being a wise, disciplined, consistent, profitable trader? And write them down and come into agreement with it. Identify trend, support, and resistance momentum on every trade. I know the intermediate short-term trend on every trade. I know I am trading the intermediate or short-term trend on every trade. I know if I am. I buy where I'm supposed to buy and I sell where I'm supposed to sell. I have a stop and a target on every trade. I have written rules that follow my system on every trade. Like a master chess player, I think several moves in advance, but only trade based on price action. I trade the market, not my thoughts. I follow and trade my rules, and the profits take care of themselves. I am consistent. I take consistent action. I am consistently profitable. And there is just something from a psychological point where when you start writing these things down and speaking them to yourself about what you are. I mean, professional athletes do this type of thing all the time to get themselves in a better mindset in order to overcome self-sabotage, overcome their jitters and nerves and all that kind of stuff. Another thing that people find oftentimes is to do what's called box breathing. Mark Minervini suggests before he starts every trading day, he will do a good 2 or 3 minutes worth of box breathing, and that is a technique that has been used for many, many years, but the Navy SEALs uses that. And what it is, you breathe in for a 4 to 7 count, hold it, and then breathe out for a 4 to 7 count. And oftentimes you can say, hey, you're breathing in the good, you're breathing out the bad habits. Hope that, try that if you've never heard of it. And, but try it more than just one day, please. So admit, and this is some of the things that Mark Douglas says in Trading in the Zone, admit that anything can happen. I don't have to know what's going to happen next to make money. That's a huge one, because remember when I said that it's Adam Shue said that we want to know the reason why, when in reality, part of what's happening is just simply the ebbs and flows of a normal market condition. There's a random distribution between wins and losses, and edge is nothing more than an indication of higher probability of one thing happening over the other. Every moment in the market is unique. And here again, this talks about, I am a consistent trader because And here's what Mark said to do. He just basically says, I predefine my risk on every trade. I completely accept the risk, or I will let go of the trade. If I can't accept the risk, I let go of it. That is one of the reasons why it's very important and crucial to have your own risk profile. And if you ever catch yourself at night having a hard time sleeping because you're worried about the money, if your stop loss is hit, you're probably trading too big. Let me say that again. If you catch yourself not being able to sleep at night or being restless, worrying about the amount of money you might lose if your stop loss is hit, you're probably trading too big. I act on my edges without reservation or hesitation. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. I continually monitor my susceptibility to making an error. Notice he says it doesn't say that he continually monitors the market. He continually monitors himself for my susceptibility of making an error. I understand the absolute necessity of these principles of consistent success. That's what it's all about. And I never violate them. So, okay. I just want to do a real quick announcement. Is we are doing a pre-launch on my book. It's called The Trade Your Way to Freedom. Retire sooner with more money and less fear. This is now available for pre-order, and anybody who does pre-order, you will get a free invitation to a 2-day masterclass. You get a link to a masterclass, as you can see right there. It's autopilot.com/freedom. Hey traders, if you found this video valuable, please share the link with other traders, and also while you're at it, squash that subscribe button and hit the bell, and you'll be notified when I post more valuable content. Aloha.